everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Taylor. I'm coming at you live from my living room today, but I wanted to do a little Q&A for you guys. So I found a Q&A online of just some mom tag questions. If you guys didn't know, I'm a first-time mom to my son Luke. So this is kind of from my perspective as a first-time mom with a 10-month-old, so I'm not super experienced in the mom department, but I thought this would be kind of a fun thing to do for you guys and just to see kind of my perspective as a first-time mom. So I'll get going with the questions. Number one, how old were you when you had your first child? So when I had Luke, when I got pregnant with Luke, I just had turned 22. Yep, I just had turned 22. I got pregnant just after my birthday, and I had him when I was still 22. I turned 23 just a couple months after he was born. Number two, what was the hardest thing about being pregnant for 9 months? The hardest thing for me probably was that I wasn't in control of my body, basically. I am kind of a control freak, to be honest with you guys. So being not completely in control of what my body's doing for 9 months was really hard for me. You know, I was feeling all of these things that I really couldn't control. I couldn't help. I didn't know what all these feelings were at all times and things like that. So I think that was probably the hardest thing about being pregnant, was just having no control over what was going on with my body. Number three, can you think of any good things you enjoyed during those 9 months? This is a little bit contradictory since I just said that I didn't like not being in control of my body, but I actually loved being pregnant. I loved watching my belly grow. I loved feeling him move. Once I started feeling him move and then continually feeling him move until I gave birth was probably the best thing ever. I took so many videos and so many pictures while I was pregnant, and I loved it. I really loved being pregnant. I could be pregnant 10 times over again if I could. Yeah, I really loved being pregnant just in general. Number four, in your opinion, were all the things you heard about childbirth accurate or way off? I think most of them were accurate. It hurts a lot. But they were also right when they say after you have your baby and they're put on your chest that you forget about it all. I feel like a lot of childbirth kind of disappeared after I had him, and then once he was out of this world and on top of me, it was like, this is what it's for. This is totally worth it. I would do it again 100% to have another baby, because that's the best feeling ever, to carry this human being for 9 months and then have them be on your chest and have them be out in this world and get to see them and get to see what they look like and all that stuff. So it definitely is true, most of the things that people were telling me about childbirth. It's hard, it hurts, it's excruciating, but in the end, it's totally worth it. Number five, would you have handled childbirth differently if you could redo it? Definitely. Childbirth for me didn't go as planned, I guess. So I was induced with my son Luke, and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't get the feeling, you know, of my water breaking. I didn't get the feeling of contractions that weren't made for me. I didn't get to experience labor naturally because I was in induction, which was fine. I didn't mind being induced. That wasn't the hard part, I guess. But my epidural, I got an epidural and it failed. So I had basically no pain relief, which I was not expecting to happen. I said throughout my whole pregnancy that I wanted the epidural because I didn't think I could handle the pain. And when my epidural failed, I didn't really realize that it failed until after I already had my son. I just thought, oh, this is how it's supposed to be, this is what the epidural feels like. It's not helping at all, but I guess this is just what it's supposed to feel like. And the only thing the epidural did for me was make my right leg, super numb. And I just thought that was normal. I didn't question anything because I was a first-time mom. It was my first labor. I just kind of thought that that's how it was supposed to go. So I didn't even realize that my epidural had failed until after the fact. So childbirth definitely did not go as planned or how I expected it to go. And since I was in so much pain, I completely lost everything that I had learned in childbirthing class. I didn't breathe how I should. I wasn't calm at all. I was in my head the whole time, and I wish I wouldn't have been. I wish I would have been present in the experience a little bit more. I was so in my head and in so much pain that I didn't enjoy it. I don't know if that's even the right word to say, because who enjoys giving birth and who enjoys labor? But I didn't get to really be present in the birth because I was in so much pain, because I wasn't expecting to be in so much pain, if that makes sense. I guess that was a confusing answer. Number 6, what would be your advice for someone who is about to have a baby? That's a hard one too. I think I would say to just enjoy everything. Take all the advice that you get with a grain of salt. Even the advice that I give you, definitely take everything with a grain of salt, because not everything is the same for everyone. And that's one really hard thing to realize when you have a baby, is that someone else's experience is not ever going to be exactly what you're going to experience. Take everyone's advice with a grain of salt, for sure. Enjoy everything. Take lots of pictures, take videos, post them if you want to. I see a lot of people that get mad because moms post so many pictures, and they talk so much about their babies. But when you have a baby, they're your whole life at that point. I think it's just worth it to take those pictures and have those memories, because you're gonna miss out one day. You're gonna miss it one day when they're too old to sit on your lap, or they're too old to fall asleep on your chest, and that kind of thing. Another piece of advice for someone that's about to have a baby is for breastfeeding moms. I'm a breastfeeding mom. We've been exclusively breastfeeding for the past 10 months now, and I plan to go at least until a year, and then kind of want him to try and self-wean after that. But breastfeeding is hard. It's not easy. It's not just something that, not everybody just gets the hang of it right away and can go off nursing with a hitch. It's not always easy. So I would say, if you are planning to breastfeed, if you want to breastfeed, if you're determined to breastfeed, you have to keep that determination throughout your breastfeeding journey, because it's not always easy. It's not always the most simple thing, but having the determination to want to continue to do it is everything. You have to be willing to let your body do its thing and just put your all into it, and it'll all work out. Number 7, what has been the hardest thing about being a mom? I think for me, like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm kind of a control freak. So I like to be in control of a lot of aspects of my life and everything. So having a baby is hard for me to want to control everything that goes on with him as well, which sometimes gets difficult for my husband and for family that helps out, because I want to be the one to do everything, and that makes it especially hard for me because sometimes I'm too tired to do everything, or I'm exhausted and I need a break, but I don't want to let myself take a break because I want to be the one that does everything. So that's been the hardest thing to get used to, being a mom, is just letting somebody else take the reins for a little bit, give me a break, and let somebody else worry about it for a second so that I can just take some rest. Number 8, what has been the most rewarding thing about being a mom? I think the most rewarding thing is that being a mom has given me some sort of purpose in my life. That sounds super cheesy, but I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. Like, I'm almost 24 and I have no idea what I want to do with my life, like career-wise and everything like that. There's a deer right there. There's just a deer in my backyard. That was crazy. Anyways, I think it's given me a purpose in life that I didn't know that I was going to be so good at. That sounds super like conceited and weird to say, but I think I'm a really good mom, and I enjoy being a mom. I enjoy caring for my son. I enjoy, doing things for him and spending time with him and everything like that. It's given me a purpose that I didn't realize that I was like longing for, I guess. I always thought that I wanted kids. I didn't know for sure that I wanted kids until I started dating my husband. But once I got pregnant and once I had him, I realized that this is what I was made for. That sounds so cheesy and so weird, but this is what I was made to do. I was made to be a mom. I was made to be his mom. And I think it's just given me a sense of purpose that I didn't know, that I wasn't expecting, I guess you could say. Number 9, what was the most surprising thing you discovered about being a mom? Honestly, one of the most surprising things that I didn't really expect was how well I can function on a very small amount of sleep. Luke still doesn't sleep through the night, and he's, a little over 10 months old. He doesn't sleep through the night. He's up still at least once or twice, sometimes more, through the night. Before we moved him to his crib, he was up like 6 times a night. And especially on the days that I have to work in the morning, being up, every hour, every 2 hours throughout the night in only, a 5-hour time stretch of sleep that I'm supposed to get makes for a very tired mom. So I was very surprised that I can still function and I can still think and I can still do all these things on such little sleep. Yeah, it's crazy. Number 10, what is the best memory you have involving your child? That's a really hard question, but just being able to bring him home was like surreal. Like when we left the hospital, I think I literally got in the car to leave the hospital and I was like, we get to take him home. Like they're just gonna let us leave with him. We just get to take him and he's ours forever. Like it's like a really surreal feeling when you have a baby and you're in the hospital and you have all this help and then you just get to take him home and he's yours and you're on your own. But getting him home that first night was the best feeling in the world, that you have this tiny little human that you created and now you're home with him, he's yours, and you get to spend the rest of your life with him. It's the best feeling ever. Number 11, what was the most exciting milestone? So like I said, he's only 10 months old, so he hasn't had a ridiculous amount of milestones so far, but I think the most exciting one was when he finally figured out how to crawl. He was up on his hands and knees rocking back and forth for so long, like months. He was rocking on his hands and knees and he could not figure out how to crawl. He couldn't figure out how to move his weight and just get his hands and knees going. So when he finally figured out how to crawl, that was the coolest thing. I was so excited. We actually had friends over the night that he really started learning how to crawl, and we were like putting balls and toys and stuff in front of us so that he would crawl back and forth. And for, you know, for just my husband and I, that was obviously a great moment, but to have, you know, two of our best friends over to be able to experience that with us was really amazing. Number 12, what was the worst thing your child has ever done? It's kind of a weird question. He really hasn't done anything bad. I mean, he's a baby. Yeah, I don't really have anything for that one. That's kind of a weird question. Number 13, what habit do you wish your child didn't have? He really likes to pull hair, and that hurts. So I kind of wish he didn't have that habit. I know he'll grow out of it at some point, but right now that's not a fun one. Number 14, what habit of theirs makes you most proud? I don't know if it's a habit that makes me proud, but it makes us smile and makes us really laugh with him. He will dance. If you dance at him, he'll dance back. So like if you move your head like this, he'll do that back at you. And if music's playing, he'll kind of like bob his head and he'll move, and it's so cute, and it makes all of us smile. It makes anybody smile when you're around him when he dances like that. Number 15, do you share any similarities with your child, both physical and personality? I mean, he kind of is like the perfect mix of my husband and I looks wise. When he's with me, everybody says that he looks so much like me, but then when he's with my husband, everybody says he looks so much like him. But he definitely has my eyes and my eye shape. When he was first born, all of my in-laws said that he looked a lot like me because our eyes were so similar that it basically takes up your whole face when you're a newborn. So he looked a ton like me when he was first born. We definitely have the same eyes and same eye shape. But personality-wise, he is my husband to a T. He is such a dork. He's so goofy, and he does this little cheese smile where he just like, he scrunches his little nose and he closes his eyes, and he is just my husband to a T with his personality. Number 16, where would you like your child to be in 10 years? In 10 years, he'll be 10 years old, so he'll be in school, you know, he'll be in like, I don't know, 5th grade, something like that, I think. I just hope he's happy. I hope he does well in school. I hope he enjoys school. I hope he has, you know, lots of friends, and I just hope he's a happy kid because he's a happy baby right now. So I hope he continues to be a happy kid as he grows up. Number 17, what is something that having a child has taught you? It's taught me a lot. It's taught me a lot of patience. Number one, so much patience. It's taught me, again, how little sleep I can actually survive on. It's taught me unconditional love like crazy. I didn't know that I could love anything as much as I love my son, but it's also given me a different sense of love towards my husband. There's a lot of things that being a mom has taught me so far, but those are probably my top 3. Number 18, did you imagine that you'd be a mom at the age that you became a mom? Probably not, actually. I was 22, like I said, when I got pregnant. I had just turned 22. We had, my husband and I guess I should do a little backstory on this. My husband and I met when we were 19, and we moved in with each other. Sorry, there's a truck that went by. We moved in with each other at our first apartment when we were together for 6 months. So it was very quick. Our whole relationship moved very fast. We moved in together at 6 months. We bought our first house at a little, when did we buy our house? I think we bought our first house at like a year and a half, somewhere around there, a little over a year. So our whole relationship kind of moved pretty fast, but we had both decided that we wanted to have kids, start trying to have babies, and we both didn't really think that we would get pregnant so fast. We got pregnant within just a couple months after we started trying, and it's funny to think back now because when we started trying, after the first month of trying, I was really frustrated because I wasn't pregnant yet, which, I mean, you know, it's a month. You have no idea how long it'll take when you first start trying to get pregnant. So the first month went by and I wasn't pregnant yet. So I was like really frustrated. This was about the time of my birthday. We had gone out with a couple friends and celebrated my birthday. And I was talking that night about how frustrated I was that I wasn't pregnant yet. And then a month later was when I found out that I was pregnant. So when I was complaining about how I hadn't gotten pregnant yet, I was already pregnant at that point. So no, I didn't imagine that I would be a mom at the age that I am now. Before I met my husband, I really didn't think that I'd get married until I was like, you know, 25, 26. Maybe I wouldn't get married at all. Maybe I wouldn't even have kids. You know, I was really unsure until I met my husband. And then when I met him, everything changed and I knew that I wanted to get married and have kids. So it came sooner than I expected, but I'm glad that it did. Number 19, describe your child in a single sentence. He's adorable, he's busy, and he is hilarious. He is one of the funniest babies I've ever met in my life. I can't believe how funny that kid is, honestly. Number 20, how have you changed as a person since becoming a mom? That one's kind of hard to answer too, because I know I've changed so much since I became a mom, but it's hard to say how I've changed, I guess. You would probably have to ask anybody else besides me, but I know I've changed a ton, just like personality wise. I feel like I've grown up a lot since I had him. Yeah, I feel like I've just grown up a lot since I've had him. That's probably the biggest thing. I feel much more like an adult since I've had him than before. Even since I got pregnant, it all kind of changed and made me really grow up. I don't think I was immature before I had him, but I definitely wasn't like I am now, I guess. So I've changed a lot, but a lot of it's kind of hard to put into words, I guess. All right, well that was the mom tag questions. So I'll have a link to the blog post that I found all these questions in the description box below if anybody is curious or if anybody wants to do this tag themselves. I'm not going to tag anybody because I don't have any YouTube friends yet, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you didn't mind the casual little setup here, you know, with my pup in the background, but this is just kind of, like I said, a thrown together video, so I hope you didn't mind the background and everything. Hopefully the noise wasn't too bad from the street, but again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit that subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos on my channel, and leave me a comment with some suggestions of what you want to see on my channel for the next time I film. So I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.